Good evening, friends. It's Dennis LaRue here, your international executive coach with LDR, where leaders develop relationships, and your number one relationship starts with you, developing you. And you're here live to watch the hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week. What a great way to start your week. You're like, wait a minute, it's not Monday. That's right, the first day of the week is Sunday. So we're doing it right here, right now, before you go in on Monday. And the reason it's called hashtag steeltoesrequired is because of this. I'm going to say something. I'm going to share a quote and some thoughts that are going to step on your toes a little bit. And when they step on your toes, it's going to make you feel maybe a little uncomfortable. It's going to poke you. It's going to prod you. But it's going to get you in the right direction. And so what I want you to do is first, if this adds value to you, if this has impacted you, then share this with your Facebook friends, please. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is just a service to you, to add value to you, to motivate, to inspire you, and to be that catalyst of transformation to change your life or somebody else's. That's it. So what I want you to do is do that right now. Now, let's get into our quote. This is our 6th episode, so if this is your first time, there are 5 of these just like this already. So just go back onto my Facebook feed and enjoy the other 5. This week's quote comes to you from another football coach. You'll recognize his name as soon as I tell you what his name's associated with. It's the name of the NFL, National Football League Super Bowl trophy. You know who that is? That's right. Vince Lombardi, the great coach of the Packers. And he said this. Pay attention. Listen to this. He says, a team that thinks it will lose is going to lose. Did you catch that? A team that thinks it's going to lose is going to lose. Whew. You know what? I'm a competitive person and I love sports. And you know what? Losing stinks. Is there anybody here listening to this, watching this right now, who would say and raise their hand and say, hey, I want to lose today. I love losing. Maybe there's a song back in the day that said, have you heard about the lonesome loser? Hey, look, losing stinks. It doesn't feel good. Nobody likes it. It's brutal. But you know, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and say, I think I'll lose today. I won't. Not at all. I mean, think about it. Professional athletes, look at what they invest their time in, invest their money in. You know what? They have all the right equipment. They have the right supplements, protein, diet, shoes, everything. They invest all of that in there. Now, do they do that for the purpose of losing? No way. Not at all. They don't. I can hear right now ESPN analyst and former coach and player himself, Herm Edwards, right now in my head saying, you play to win the game. That's right. You play to win the game. So, are you playing to win? Are you playing to win not just on the field, but are you playing to win at work? Are you playing to win at home? Are you playing to win with your relationships? Are you playing to win in your business or for your employer? Are you playing to win in the classroom? For those of you that are going to school, whether it be middle school, high school, college, or certifications, are you playing to win? Because here is the secret. The secret to success. The very first step in the secret to success is what Vince Lombardi said. It's how you think. It's not just the X's and O's. It's not just the winning and the losing. Everybody remembers the winners. Nobody remembers the losers, but that starts with how you think. So, how do you think? I'm going to share with you. Hey, Trisha, I see you there, Mom and Dad. Glad you're watching. Listen, folks, how you think matters. Now, I want to share with you, this is the easy part. The easy part is I'm going to share with you some phrases, and I wrote them down, so I'm going to read them, some phrases that I hear that are of a losing mindset. Are you ready for these? And I wrote these down because I've said them. I'm going to tell you right now, I've said them before, so I'm stepping on my own toes. They hurt, and I won't say these anymore. I'll tell you that. Here we go. Here's the first one. You ready for it? I hate Mondays. I hate Mondays. That is a losing mindset right off the bat. I can remember seeing a cartoon in the 80s from Garfield, and he even said, I hate Mondays. I remember it at work. Folks, you've heard me, and if you've listened to any of these at all, you know that I don't like that phrase at all. You don't hate Mondays. That means you lack passion. Gotta have passion. Here's another one for you. This one gets under my skin because most of the times I hear this phrase, you can do something about it. Here it is. It is what it is. That's a loser's mindset. It is what it is. It is what it is if you can't control it. But the majority of the time I hear that, it is what it is a barrier and an excuse to keep you in your comfort zone. Gotta let it go. It's not it is what it is. Here's another one. This will never work. I've said that before. I've said it to my wife. And if she's listening, she'll probably put some hearts on that also. It is. There it is. This will never work. Oh, here's one. Why even try? There you go. Why even try? Or another one. I can't do this. I can't do this. Because it's not a question of ability, it's a question of will. That's a big difference. It's a big difference. And the final one, here's the woe is me one. This one is the woe is me. It's nothing good happens in my life. These are all phrases of a losing mindset, of a losing mentality. And we got to break that. Because if you expect to win with a loser's mindset, I think that kind of falls under that definition of insanity. It's just not going to happen. If you expect to lose, you're going to lose. If you come in and say you can't do something, you won't do something, you won't try, and you won't move forward, and then you'll go back and say, it is what it is. No, you didn't try. You have to try. So, leaders, now this is important. Leaders, take a look at your team. There was a Facebook video just a few minutes ago that I was watching, and it was a video of somebody pretending to be a coach. And this is what coaches would like to say. And then this individual starts saying things like, I've got 22 problems with my football team. 11 of them on offense and 11 of them on defense, and we can't win. I put together a great game plan, but they didn't execute, and we didn't win because of my players. That's a loser's mindset. That's not what winners do. The Bible even says this. Think about this. As a man thinks, so is he. How's your thinking? How are you doing here? Have you caught yourself saying some of these losing mindset phrases? I have, and I'm stepping on my toes. But I found a way. I found a way to take out the garbage that's going in, because that's the problem. A loser's mindset, if it starts here, then it's what's coming into the mind. That's the problem. We got to turn off the faucet of what's going in, and we need to pump that out and pour in clean water. If you take a pitcher of soda, not Coca-Cola, it's black and brown, and you start pouring in clean, fresh water and keep that fresh water running, guess what's going to happen? The Coke is going to start coming up and up and out and out and over, and eventually you're going to have a pitcher full of clean water. It's the same thing with your mind. If you're constantly feeding losing mentality thoughts and pouring into loser mentality, reinforcing that through what you're surfing the internet on, what you're doing on your your handheld devices and tablets and what you're reading and hearing and watching on TV and the news and Netflix and Amazon and all that, then you're going to keep getting negative stuff. You got to fill it up with the good stuff. So here is a very simple way to change your mindset starting today, starting right now. It starts now. Okay? Don't wait till tomorrow. Start right now. And you're already starting by watching this, so great job on you. Here we go. It's the 3 R's. Actually, I'm going to call it the 4 R's. Here's the first one. You got to review. Here's your action step. First thing I want you to do is I want you to review everything that's going in your mind from the standpoint of what you're listening to, music or audiobooks, what you're scrolling on your Facebook, what's coming through on your Facebook feeds, your Twitters, what you're also listening to maybe on the radio or Pandora or whatever other system you're using on the way to work. Then once you get to work, what news feeds are you looking at? What talk shows or whatever it is you're doing at work? Where are you pouring your time? Because I just read a study that was in the New York Times quoting Nielsen ratings from 2016. And do you realize that we spend, when I say we, you and I spend on average 10.5 hours a day using our devices, TVs, notebooks, computers, CPUs, whatever, pouring our minds full of everything from emails to Netflix to everything else. That's 10.5 hours. For some of you, that's your entire work day. That's an entire work day. Half of your day is spent pouring these things into your mind. So is it positive or is it negative? So first thing you got to do is review. You got to become aware of what's going in, because you can't clean out and you can't change if you're not aware. So congratulations, you are now aware. You are aware that you need to review this. So do that first. That's your first step. Review what's going in. The second R, you need to remove. You need to remove the loser mentality stuff that's going in. I can think of a ton. I can tell you right now, I do not watch the news, not very often. I do not scroll or get onto the CNNs, the USA Todays, and those other news feeds. I just don't. They don't add value to me. Every once in a while I will, and if it's really bad enough, it'll show up on Facebook. It's amazing what Facebook throws out there. If a lot of people are saying, we're praying for Houston, we're praying for Florida, I want to find out why. I'm going to go look that up. And if I see people posting things on my Facebook feed that pop up that are negative, I unfollow. It's just that simple. There's no 3 strikes, you're out. It's 1 strike, because I want to keep that pipeline pure. So there you go. You got to remove it. So once you remove that negative stuff, now you get the opportunity with your capacity to replace. The next R is replace. Replace it with the good stuff. Replace it with things like, for me, I read my Bible every day. It's very important to me. Faith is important to me. So I read from my Bible. That's one way. I also read positive books by my mentor, John Maxwell. Right now, just this weekend, I read a great book on helping me be better with sales for my business. That's positive growth. Technical application, that really added value to me, and I really enjoyed it. I listen to podcasts. I love listening to podcasts. My favorite podcast, believe it or not, is a guy by the name of Brian Buffini. The Brian Buffini Show. He's got an incredible story. And I encourage you, I'm not going to spoil it. Go get it. It's out on iTunes. He's got a webpage. Go get it. I promise you it'll add value to you. And he brings a lot of great guests onto the show. So you got to replenish, replace, because you got to get all that negativity out. And then once you go through this process, you do the next R is you repeat it. That's what you want to do. You need to do a continual review. You need to remove the junk, and you need to, after you remove the junk, replace it with the good stuff. Trisha, that is awesome. You were a keynote with Brian at the same event. That's what I'm talking about. That's a guy I want to meet. Brian Buffini, I mean, I listen to every one of his podcasts. I love that guy. That is awesome, Tricia. Thanks for sharing that. That really fired me up. I love it. So once you remove, you got to replace. And once you replace and you find that good stuff and you got the good stuff come in, then you repeat. You repeat this process on a periodic basis. Constantly, though, pouring in the good stuff because, again, do you want all this dirt? Remember what I talked about with the pitcher and the Coke? If it's full of Coke and dirty water, it's going to stay that way. But once you start pouring in the good stuff, you start getting rid of the bad stuff, and eventually there's nothing but pure water in there. You need a pure thought as well. You need a pure mind in order to be a winner. Because again, because losing is contagious. Losing is contagious, but you know what? So's winning. Winning is contagious too. And when you get around a group, when you get around a room, you get around a team that constantly wins, that's where you have a company culture filled with winners. And everybody wants to be around winners. Everybody wants to be a winner. Everybody wants to be around winners. Nobody loves a losing culture, a losing climate, a losing atmosphere. If you don't believe me, just go to your favorite sports team that, for instance, pick a team. I was a Dallas Cowboys fan. I still am as a kid. And I'll tell you what, when they don't win, everybody is jumping off the bridge, losing their minds every time they lose. I'm here in San Antonio. When the Spurs lose, I listen to a couple of local radio stations just to hear the chatter because everybody is ready to jump off a cliff. Why? Because they don't like losing. Nobody likes losing. I know you don't like losing because you're here. So, with all that said, the quote again is, a team that thinks is going to lose. That's right. A team that thinks it's going to lose is going to lose, Vince Lombardi said. Now, I think I'm going to win. I'm competitive. I want to win, and I'll do what it takes to win. What about you? And where it starts, the number one step for you is in the mind. Don't go buy all the equipment and all the other stuff and then go in with a mentality that says, I'm going to lose. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your time. Start with your mind, then go get the other stuff. So as I close, just want to remind you, hey, the book that I co-authored with my friend there, Tricia Anderson, said it's out. So here's what I want you to do. If you want to get a copy of that book and you didn't get a chance to, it became a bestseller. Here's the title, and I've also included it in the feed, the site, but I'll share it with you right now. The title of the book is Endurance, Going the Distance from the Valley to the Mountaintop. 14 fellow authors, including myself, poured our hearts into sharing how we handle endurance, resiliency, all different kinds of stories. Mine in particular dealt with my running background and taking that application of running and training for a marathon and what that looks like in life. You can get it at, I'm going to read it for you, it is at www.clpli/Dennis_LaRue, LARUE_JR Jr. You go to that site, you click on that, you'll be able to get a copy of the book. It would be an honor. It would honor me if you got that book, but also it will add value to you. It can impact lives. And also, if you're in the area, my mom, then I'll autograph it for you. I'm here in San Antonio, or if I run into you, I'll gladly sign it. I would love to do that and just add more value to you. So, with all of that said, thank you so much for staying with me so long. Amy, I see you there, number 9, and I love what you did at Turning Point. Keep doing it, my friend. I love you, I love you, I love you. You are powerful. And that's right, Tricia, you are a winner. Guys, friends, you're winners, and I appreciate you. This is Dennis LaRue with your hashtag #SteelToesRequired quote of the week. Please take a moment to share this and share this message, and let's all get into Monday. You start your Monday off with a winner's mindset. It's not, it is what it is. It is the way you want it to be. If you want to win, change the way you think. Dennis LaRue saying, have a great week. We'll see you next week, and have a great Thanksgiving as well. I appreciate all of you. Take care. God bless.